What's good, y'all? My name is Ferris Abadil, and in this video, I am breaking down whole food in a very simple way you can understand. And I want to preface this video by saying this is not created with the intent to entertain you. If you're looking for a temporary fix or something you can do temporarily to maybe lose weight or feel better in the moment, this is not the video for you. So go ahead and click off. But if you're actually looking to understand the whole food diet and understand this commitment to a lifestyle change, let's go ahead and jump straight into my MacBook. All right, a lot of y'all have been asking me for this video, so I want to break down a whole food based diet in a very simple way today, and a way that you can understand, because whole food has been something that has completely changed my life. A year ago, I was dealing with all this brain fog. I never had motivation. I felt tired all the time. I had this kind of skinny, fat physique where I looked skinny with a shirt on, but when I took my shirt off, I looked fat. So it was kind of weird. Destroyed my confidence, and it pretty much like one of the lowest points of my life. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I was malnourished. And I want to share that with you in this video, because the problem was that I was malnourished and I didn't know what to do. And now I'm at a point where I'm in a reality that I could not even fathom a year ago, meaning that I'm high energy all the time. I have this mental sharpness all the time. I feel like I can actually form a competent thought, which I just did not have a year ago. I have a pretty well off physique where I lost 30 pounds of fat and I put on all this muscle on my body. So I feel hella confident. I feel high energy, and I want to share that with you today. So, understand what it means to be malnourished, right? So, being malnourished means that you have a nutrient imbalance. So, either you are overnutrition or undernutrition. Overnutrition is a very rare situation where it means that you eat too many micronutrients. And again, that's probably not you, but if you eat too much of one thing, like obviously it's not good for you. Too much of anything is bad for you. And my problem, and likely your problem as well, is that you're undernutrition, meaning that the food in this picture has been completely deprived over all of its natural nutrients. Meaning that the original form of this food used to be just red meat from this burger, just white bread from this bread, just mozzarella cheese from these fried mozzarella sticks. And what happened is that all these seed oils that got applied to it, all these preservatives that got applied to it, and deep fried has been completely stripped out of all of its nutrients. And the food would fill me up, yes, but it never had the nutrients that my body needed to actually regulate my body's function. So this caused all of these symptoms like I just explained. So I was malnourished, and it caused, like, for example, unintentional weight loss, muscle loss, tired all the time, reduced immunity, brain fog, mood swings, energy crashes, acne, and again, a lot more symptoms than that. And if you're watching this video and you resonate with any of those symptoms, you more than likely are malnourished as well. So how do we fix that? So how we do that is eating whole food. And understand that because your mind and body is deprived over nutrients from foods that you might eat in this picture right here, just ultra processed foods that you don't need. Your body needs real food with actual nutrients to regulate your gut health. And the way that you want to think about your gut health is literally like your second brain. And your gut kind of regulates everything your body does, your mind and body, on a subconscious level. And it's very important that you prioritize your gut health. So the goal is to eat food that contains micronutrients in them. So that's like vitamins, minerals, and fiber. And fiber isn't classified as a micronutrient, but rather a macronutrient. But I just wanted to mention it in this video. So what I mean by this is, when I go grocery shopping, I don't really think like, I'm kind of craving chicken this week. You know, a pasta dish would be fire this week. I don't think like that. I think, what food do I need to fuel up my body for the workouts that I'm going to put it through this week? So that's why I eat fucking 6 packs of red meat, 3 dozen eggs, milk, organic rice. Even though this is frozen, the only ingredient in it is just organic rice, fruits. So a common theme between all of these ingredients in this basket right here is that they are all very micronutrient heavy. So red meat is the most micronutrient dense food. Pasture raised eggs specifically is the most bioavailable protein source that you can have. So the reason why this is different from just like drinking a protein drink, because on paper it says that These protein drinks have the same amount of protein as red meat. But if you look at the ingredients, if you look at the micronutrient labels, micronutrients are very, very heavy in this. Again, meaning that those micronutrients are how your body actually functions. And the vitamins in the meat, the minerals in the meat have minerals that regulate your physiological functions, meaning that how your body might recover after a workout, or your metabolic functions, how your body might recover after a sickness. And fiber, again, that's a macronutrient, but I want to mention it. But for example, the fruits right here, they're micronutrient heavy and they have fiber in them. So if I eat fruit, it makes me feel satiated for longer. That's an insoluble fiber. And then a soluble fiber, something like beans, where it kind of bulks up in your stomach and it regulates your gut health. So, and that pretty much just means that you can shit easier. Understand that whole food is exactly what it sounds like compared to processed and ultra processed food. So, whole food, it's what ingredient is in this plate right here? Like, think about it. What ingredient is in a steak? A steak. What ingredient is in a strawberry? A strawberry. What ingredient is in avocado? You get what I'm saying. So, in this picture right here, what ingredient is in this thing right here? I don't fucking know. So you probably shouldn't be eating it. And that is exactly what whole food is. It's something that doesn't have any added ingredients to it. Because again, what happens once all of these, once this food gets processed, it loses the actual nutrients that it has. And it just makes it that you're eating empty food. So the next point that I want to emphasize is changing your frame of eating. And what I mean by this is like a mindset shift. Why do you eat and what do you eat? So, what I mean by this is exactly what I was just saying. So, instead of thinking like, what am I craving this week and then picking up those kind of foods, instead, what foods can I fuel up my body with for the workouts that I'm putting myself through this week? And that makes the decision making a lot easier and it makes you veer towards more food that's going to fuel up your mind and body more than a pleasurable thing. So understand the difference between eating for pleasure and eating for fuel. Because another thing with this mindset shift, right? If I have, I'll give this example. If I have a day where I have no workouts, no runs planned at all, I'm probably not going to eat carbs that day because there's no use for it. Because I know if I eat carbs that day, that I'm not going to think as sharp. So days where I do have workouts, those are the days where I'm going to eat a little bit more carbs because your body uses carbs for fuel unless you're in a ketosis state. And that's another rabbit hole we can get down. But the point is to eat the food that is congruent towards the actions that you want to take on your body. And that's kind of the mindset shift that you have to have and the frame of eating that you have to put yourself through. And again, when you're in the grocery store, instead of asking yourself what you're craving this week and picking that up, just get the food that is micronutrient dense that you can really just fuel up with for your mind and body. Okay, so the last part of this video is the actionables, right? Because my goal for this video isn't to leave you slightly informed and slightly optimistic or inspired, but more like actionable steps you can take towards a whole food lifestyle. So obviously the information in this video is very, very surface level, but I hope I said it in a way that you might be able to understand or something I said resonated with you. And understand that anything you do for the first time is not going to make any sense at all. And the more that I know, the more I know nothing. I'm gonna say that again. The more that I know, the more that I know nothing. Meaning that I'm still learning more and more about whole food on a daily basis. And I'm not saying that I know everything, but whole food has completely changed my life. And I'm trying to show this in a way that, bro, check this out yourself and do it yourself and see how you feel. Because I guarantee there is a reality, there's a version of you out there that is performing on a very, very high level because he eats well, because she performs well. So whatever that is for you, and understand that whole food isn't necessarily a diet you put yourself on, but rather a lifestyle choice you have to be committed to. And what I mean by this is it's not like you can eat whole food 5 days of the week and be fine. It's more of a lifestyle change you have to commit to and eat pretty much 90 to 95% of the time. Because even on weekends where I eat one fast food meal, I feel the effects of that fast food meal days later. That's just how your gut health works, because your body's going to start to mirror out the food that you feed it in ways like acne, in ways like brain fog. And those are symptoms, those are indicators of what you feed your body. So that's why you got to be committed to that lifestyle. And the next thing that I want to emphasize is environment control, because I get it, bro. It's a lot easier said than done. It's a lot easier to say, like, bro, just eat cleaner, do fine, lose weight. But again, it's a lot harder to actually apply that. So, environment control is meaning that you are a product of your environment. So if you have all this processed food in your pantry, in your fridge, you're more than likely going to give into that in times where you cannot use willpower or discipline. And for environment control, I want you to think about this. So during the school year, when I was sharing my space with 3 other guys in my apartment, we literally had individual sections in our fridge for our food. We didn't share shit. So in my in the fridge, there was this bottom right corner where I had all of my food, and all of the other sections of the fridge were just all this processed food. And I knew if I looked anywhere else in that fridge, then I would choose something unhealthy. So the only option I gave myself was just whole, real, clean food. So I would just look at my bottom right section of my fridge when I was hungry, and I naturally just ate a lot cleaner because that was the only thing that was in my environment. And it's hard to rely on discipline and willpower because you only operate from your conscious mind 10% of the time compared to your subconscious mind, which is 90% of the time. So you can't really rely on your discipline. And that's why environment control is very, very necessary towards eating a cleaner diet. Another misconception that people have is that people think that eating clean is very, very expensive, which I literally spend $100 on groceries a week. So compared to my previous diet, I eat a lot cheaper than I did before. And I just spend, like, go to Trader Joe's, go to Lidl, go to Aldi, these kind of stores where they have whole food in it, and you'll be fine. Another misconception is that it takes a lot of time, which at the start it will. I can't lie. Like, I spent maybe 4 hours at a time meal prepping in the kitchen just because I didn't know what I was doing. But it literally takes me no more than 30 minutes at a time to prep my meals now because I know what I'm doing. And you're likely not going to be a dumbass like I was when I was spending 4 hours in the kitchen. So the learning curve is going to be a lot smaller for you because you're actually watching this video and you actually care about your diet. And again, it's not going to make too much sense for you the first time, but the more and more reps you put through it, then the more and more you understand it. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is stick to the perimeter of the store. And what I mean by this is all of the dairy, the meats, the vegetables, the fruits, all of the whole food is on the perimeter of the store if you think about it. And the process, the bag, the ultra processed food is all in the center of the store. And I just said that you are a product of your environment. So if you only stick to the perimeter, you're likely just going to buy the real whole food that is good for you. And always come in with a game plan. So write down what you need before you go into the grocery store so you don't accidentally pick up something you don't need. All right, so that's pretty much all I have for y'all in this video. And if you have any questions at all, just shoot me a DM. I have my Instagram in the link of this video right here, and I answer all of my DMs personally. Just shoot me a question. Other than that, I appreciate you watching up to this point in this video, and I will see you later. Peace.